Namaste, my witchlings. Welcome back to Die the Yoga Witch podcast. I am absolutely thrilled that you are joining me today because we are taking on a powerful theme this afternoon, shedding the old and embracing the new. Now, we're not going to actually physically do yoga because that's not my thing during the podcast. We are going to be picking up yoga classes soon, but we are doing an inward journey, a ritual of transformation. Now, we all carry baggage, old stories, limiting beliefs, past hurts and traumas, and outdated ways of being and thinking. Think of it like an old, worn-out cloak. It might have served us at one point, provided comfort, but now it's kind of heavy, itchy, and it really no longer reflects who we are, right? So today, we're going to explore how to gently, intentionally shed these old cloaks and step into the radiant new version of ourselves. Okay, so let us start by acknowledging the amount of courage it takes to even consider letting go. Change can be very, very scary. Our brains are absolutely wired for familiarity, for safety. Holding on to the old, even if it's painful, can feel much more comfortable than venturing out into the unknown. But growth, true magic, happens outside our comfort zones. I just a couple of years ago, actually just over a year ago, walked away from a nearly 30-year friendship because the person I was when we first became friends and the person they were when we first became friends were much alike. And over the ensuing 30 years, we grew and changed in different directions, and that relationship was no longer beneficial for really either of us. And I decided for my own mental well-being to walk away. It was hard. I mean, this was the person that anytime I had anything to share, good, bad, indifferent, that was my first phone call. And much like quitting smoking, I had to figure out how to adjust to not having that anymore. It wasn't easy. And still, almost a year and a half later, I'm still struggling with that at times. But it is more manageable today. So, how do we actually do this shedding, though? Because it's not a one-size-fits-all process. Not everybody can just say, I'm done, and turn around and walk away. But here are some tools that I have used and I share with my witchlings. Our first step is awareness. And this is recognizing what needs to be shed. What are those recurring patterns in your life that no longer serve you? What beliefs are holding you back? Journaling, meditation, and some honest self-reflection are very powerful tools for this. And it requires honesty, vulnerability, and the willingness to look at ourselves, at sometimes the not so pretty parts, with some compassion. Think of this as an archaeological dig of your soul. We're gently brushing away the dust to uncover the treasures, but also those remnants of the past. So, how do we cultivate this awareness? Well, my darling witchlings, I've got a few tools here. One of my favorites is journaling. It is a powerful ally. Pouring your thoughts and feelings out onto paper can create some space between you and them, giving you the ability to observe them with some more clarity. Meditation, even as few as 8 minutes a day, can quiet the mind and allow those whispers of intuition to bubble to the surface. And then perhaps most importantly is the honest self-reflection. Asking yourself the really tough questions, those questions that you're probably avoiding. Okay? Now, if you have some paper at hand, I want to guide you through a short journaling exercise. So go grab your journal and a pen or your favorite digital app. I have a few of them. And get comfortable. So while you guys go grab that, I'm going to take a sip and we're going to do something. We're going to run some graphics. There we go. Buy me a coffee, even though I'm drinking Dr. Pepper today. Caffeine is caffeine, right? Witchy Mama runs on caffeine and sarcasm. All right. Now, grab your journal, your pen, your phone, and get comfortable. Close your eyes for a minute and just take a deep breath in and exhale slowly, letting go of any tension that you might be holding on to in your body. Now, let's consider this prompt. What are the recurring patterns in your life that no longer serve you? These could be relationship patterns, career and work patterns, thought patterns, anything that keeps popping up that leaves you feeling drained, frustrated, or unfulfilled. No judgment, just observe and write down whatever comes to mind, even if, maybe even especially if, it feels uncomfortable. Am I the only one who's hearing the Jeopardy theme song in my head? Okay, good. Now, consider this second part of our prompt. What beliefs are holding you back? These beliefs, these are the stories that you tell yourself, the limiting thoughts that whisper in your ear, the I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I can't do that, I suck. Identify these beliefs. Where do they come from? And do they truly serve you? All right, now take a few more deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Notice how you feel after this exercise. Don't worry about having all the answers right now. Awareness is definitely a process, not a journey. The important thing is that you have now started this conversation with yourself. Okay, now, next, we have acceptance. Resisting what is acceptance. Resisting what is only creates more suffering. Accepting the past, the hurt, the mistakes, not condoning them, but acknowledging them, is utterly crucial for moving forward. This allows us to release the emotional charge attached to these experiences. Now, acceptance is not about condoning hurtful actions or pretending that painful experiences didn't happen. It's not about saying, this is okay. Instead, it's about acknowledging what is. It is about recognizing the reality of the situation, the emotions that arise without judgment. It's about saying, this happened, this is how I feel, and that is okay. Think of it like this. You trip and fall and faceplant on the sidewalk, right? You could rage against the sidewalk, curse your clumsiness and replay the fall over and over in your mind ad nauseum, fueling that anger and frustration. Or you could go, okay, I fell. Time to, clean up the scrapes and put bandage on. And your relationship to it and your acceptance of it kind of determines the degree of your suffering. Meaning, if you are cursing for the next 2 hours the fact that you were klutzy and face planted, you're still suffering from that fall 2 hours down the line. Whereas if you're like, okay, so what? I biffed it again. I'm a klutz. Clean up and move on. You're doing fine. Well, not fine, but you're doing better. So, accepting the past, the hurt, the mistakes, not condoning them, however, again, we are simply acknowledging them, is crucial for moving forward. It's like untangling a knot. The knot is still there, representing your experience. But by gently working with it, by accepting its form, we can begin to loosen its grip. This acknowledging the event allows us to release the emotional charge attached to these experiences and events. Now, this process often involves grief. Grief for what was, for what could have been, and for what we wish were different. Allow yourself to feel that grief. Don't try to push it away. Don't try to push the grief away. It does not help. Grief is a natural part of healing, and it is a testament to the fact that something mattered. Acceptance also involves self-compassion. Be kind to yourself during this process. Acknowledge your pain, your struggles, your humanness. You are worthy of love and compassion even when you make mistakes, even when life throws you a curveball. It's so important to remember that acceptance is a practice, not a destination. Some days it's going to feel a whole lot easier than others, and there are going to be moments when those old wounds resurface, when the pain feels like it just happened yesterday again. That is okay. Simply acknowledge those feelings and gently nudge yourself back to acceptance. It's like when you're meditating and you have thoughts running through your head, and you just need to acknowledge that those thoughts are there and just let the thoughts flow instead of following along with them. Now, forgiveness. Forgiving others, and more importantly, forgiving ourselves, is a major, major part of shedding the old. Forgiveness is not about condoning the harmful behavior. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment and anger. It's not about saying what you did is okay. No, no, no. It's not even necessarily about reconciling with the person who hurt you. Instead, forgiveness is primarily about freeing yourself from that emotional prison of resentment. It is about releasing the hooks to keep you tethered to the past, allowing you to reclaim your energy and move forward with lightness. Think, and this is such a cliched example, but it's accurate. Think of resentment who is suffering. Forgiveness is your antidote. It is a way to detox your mind and your heart. And perhaps for some of us, more challenging than forgiving others is forgiving ourselves. We all make mistakes. We all have regrets, and we all have moments where we fall short of our own expectations. I know I have millions of times. Clinging to these self-judgments, these past hiccups, only keeps us stuck, and it prevents us from learning, growing, and evolving. And I have the evolutions in my head again. Self-forgiveness is about acknowledging our mistakes, taking responsibility for our actions, and then choosing to release the self-blame. It's about recognizing that we are all human, imperfect, and deserving of compassion, including from ourselves. Okay. Now we are going to go through a short meditation for self-forgiveness. I'm going to guide you through it. So find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, and just kind of let your eyes drift close and take a deep breath in and exhale slowly and let go of any tension that you might be holding. Just breathe for a moment. Bring to mind a situation where you feel you need to forgive yourself. It could be a recent event or something from the distant past. No judgment, just acknowledgement. Now, imagine yourself in that situation. See yourself clearly. Acknowledge the emotions that arise, the guilt, the shame, the regret, and simply observe these emotions without judgment. Now, gently repeat these phrases to yourself, either in your head or out loud. I acknowledge that I made a mistake. I take responsibility for my actions. I choose to forgive myself. I release the self-blame. Repeat these phrases as many times as you need to, and feel the words resonating within you. Imagine a warm, healing light surrounding you, washing away the guilt and the shame. Now, take a couple more deep breaths. Notice how you feel. Remember, self-forgiveness is a process. Be patient with yourself. Some days it's going to feel easier than others. And now let's talk gratitude. Even within the experiences that we want to shed, there are often lessons and growth. Finding gratitude for what we've learned, even from those painful parts, can help us integrate those experiences and then move forward with wisdom. It probably feels counterintuitive to feel grateful for painful experiences, for those things that we're trying to shed, but gratitude isn't about denying the pain or pretending that it didn't happen. It is, again, about acknowledging this experience, recognizing the growth that it fostered, and appreciating the wisdom we gained from it. So, think of a garden. Sometimes weeds grow amongst the flowers, and we want to remove the weeds, but a wise gardener knows that even weeds can teach us something. They can show us where the soil is lacking nutrients, or maybe even where the sunlight isn't reaching. Similarly, our difficult experiences, the weeds of our lives, can offer valuable insights if we choose to look for them. Finding gratitude within challenging experiences helps us integrate those experiences. It allows us to weave them into the tapestry of our lives, not as scars that hold us back, but as threads of strength and resilience. It transforms that pain into wisdom. It's not about saying, I'm so glad this horrible thing happened to me, because we're not. Instead, it is about recognizing what you learned because of that experience. Perhaps you found some inner strength that you didn't know you had. Maybe you learned to set healthier boundaries. Perhaps you gained a deeper understanding of yourself or others. Even in the midst of heartbreak, loss, or failure, there are often seeds of growth. Perhaps the end of a relationship taught you what you truly need in a partner, or maybe it taught you what you really don't want in a partner. Perhaps a job loss led you to discover your true passion. Maybe a health scare kicked you in the butt to prioritize your well-being. It's all about looking at these experiences from a more positive aspect there. See what you learned. Cultivating gratitude can be as simple as taking a few moments each day to reflect on what you've learned, even from those difficult parts of your journey. You can journal about it, you can meditate on it, or you can simply just acknowledge it in your heart. It is very important to remember, though, gratitude is a practice, not a feeling that you can conjure up on demand. Wouldn't that be nice? Some days, it's going to be easier than others. Be patient with yourself. You know, the more you practice gratitude, the more readily you'll find it, even in the most unexpected places. I want to say it is a quote from Oprah, that the more you appreciate your life, the more life you have to appreciate, or something to that effect. I wish I could remember the exact quote. Damn it. Anyway, moving on to intention setting. Excuse me while I fight with my hair. It's annoying. Intention setting. Once we've cleared out the old, we need to make space for the new, right? What do you want to invite into your life now that you have shed the old? What are your dreams and aspirations? Setting clear intentions is like planting seeds for the future you desire. A sankalpa, right? For those of you who are not yogis, sankalpa is basically, it is Sanskrit, and I believe it means to plant a seed. I think that is the literal translation. Random access ADHD memory is being random access memory today. All right, my friends. This process of shedding and embracing is cyclical. We don't just do it once and we're done, right? Life throws us curveballs and we grow, we evolve, and we need to continually reassess what's serving us and what is not. It's a dance of letting go and stepping into our ever-evolving selves. This is one of the reasons we set New Year's resolutions every year, right? To shed the old year and the habits from the old year that didn't serve us as we step into the new. Also think of it like this. You're tending a magical garden. You're weeding, you're pruning, you're planting new seeds. You wouldn't neglect the soil, the water, or the sunlight, would you? Of course not. I mean, come on. So, you shouldn't neglect yourself either. You are the most precious and magical garden that you will ever tend. Self-care. Self-care is not selfish. It is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Can't pour from an empty cup. It is about honoring your needs, recognizing your limits, and replenishing your energy so that you can continue to grow and flourish. So, what does self-care look like? All right, my witchlings, this one's a fun one because it is different for everyone. It is about finding what nourishes your soul. Here's a few ideas to spark your imagination. Baths. Who doesn't love a warm bubble bath, right? A warm, soothing bath can be incredibly restorative. Throw some Epsom salts, some essential oils, or even some non-water soluble crystals in to amplify your magic. Light some candles, put on some good music, and just let the water wash away the stress. Calgon, take me away. I just dated myself. Next, we have nature. Spending time in nature is a balm for the soul for so many of us. Go for a walk in the woods. If you're lucky enough to be close, go sit by the ocean, or simply just gaze at the stars. Connect with the earth. Breathe in the fresh air and feel the incredibly grounding energy of the natural world. Supportive connections are another good one. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, people who believe in you, people who make you feel seen and heard. Connect with your tribe, your soul family. Sharing your journey with others can be incredibly healing. And family is not necessarily the people you share blood and DNA with. Just saying. Now, my personal favorites are the next three. Yoga and meditation. Hello. These practices can help you connect with your inner self, release tension, and cultivate a sense of peace and calm. I'm a yoga witch, so, obviously yoga and meditation are part of my self-care. Even a few minutes of just mindful breathing can make a world of difference. They have done studies. 30 minutes of meditation a week is the minimum to feel the benefits from it, and that boils down to 8 minutes a day. You can spare 8 minutes a day, right? Right. Next, we have another favorite, journaling, which we talked about at the beginning. Writing can be a powerful way to process your emotions, clarify your thoughts, and gain insights into your own journey. Pour your heart out onto the page without judgment. Please, don't judge yourself. We get judgment from the outside world enough. Now, these are just a few suggestions, naturally. Self-care could also be as simple as, reading a good book, or listening to your favorite music, taking a nap, or even indulging in a delicious meal. The key is listening to your body, tuning into your needs, and giving yourself permission to rest, recharge, and replenish. Remember, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of care. You are worthy of compassion, especially from yourself. Prioritize your well-being. Nurture your soul because you deserve it. Now, remember, witchlings, you are powerful creators. You have the ability to shape your own reality. Don't be afraid to shed the old and embrace the new. It is time to step into your full potential, your authentic selves. Okay? At least he waited until the end. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you resonated with this episode and you want to dive deeper into these transformative practices, then hop over and join our coven on Patreon. There you'll find exclusive content, guided meditations, and a supportive community of fellow witches on their own journeys of self-discovery. The link is in the notes and on the screen right now. And if you want, you can book a one-on-one session with me at yogawithdylin.com for a yoga flow or a guided meditation and more. So, go out there and spread love, spread joy, and spread kindness. There is enough hate and discontent that we don't need to add to it. And then let your loved ones, human, furry, scaly, or feathered, know that they are the most important people in the world to you. You never know when that last opportunity is going to be. I want to tell you guys that I am grateful for you being here, and I appreciate you so much. And if you could be so kind, if you have stuck around until the end, to leave me a comment and subscribe and follow and share and all of that good stuff, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Your breath stinks.